DECONSTRUCTION.
What's up, everybody? It's the Hard Deconstruction. You can find us at harddeconstruction.tumblr.com, youtube.com/harddeconstruction, as well as facebook.com/theharddeconstruction with your host, Comp, and
Male dance vocals.
And it is
The Queefing Dead!
the 5th season of The Walking Dead, episode 1, which is The Return. Season 5? Really? Holy shit. It's
I was about to say season 4 for a second.
Yeah,
but yeah,
me
no,
too.
Season 5.
You notice because they split the 4th season up, so it feels like it's either been less or more seasons. Anyway, it's The Walking Dead has returned, everybody. Much to everybody's chagrin, or to their to their joy. Did you hear the fucking ratings for this thing? It was 17 million people saw The Walking Dead. 17 million. That's more than the Breaking Bad finale.
And there'll probably be just as many. Really? There'll probably be just as many for the. And people always shit talk this show, but you know what? 17 million people, they're all full of shit.
People still like zombies. No other show has zombies. The only thing, weren't we supposed to review The Strain? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, we'll do
but
it.
But like
eventually.
the Strain is sort of like zombies, but it's vampires. But that's not. I don't hear people shitting bricks about that show. And there's another show on Sci-Fi Channel called Z Nation, which looks like shite, as the Irish people would say, or the English people. No, Irish. And The Walking Dead is still holding strong. It's the 5th season, and Rick and crew are back. So this episode, No Sanctuary, which aired on October 12th, 2014, which is the season premiere of the 5th season, is Rick and the reunited group are locked in a train car waiting for imminent death by the hand of the people of Terminus. Meanwhile, Carol and Tyrese get closer and closer to the compound. It's directed by Greg Nicotero and written by a bunch of people. Stars Andrew Lincoln, Norman Reedus, and all the familiar characters of The Walking Dead. So it's Rick Grimes, Daryl Dixon, and yada yada yada.
I had to actually read a little recap of season 4, like just because
Did you?
know it's been a while. Yeah, I forgot.
What happened in season 4? Because I forgot.
Well, first they're in the prison. They're all happy. Rick's a farmer.
Right.
Then there's that plague shit. Blah blah blah. Carol gets banned because she kills Tyrese's.
Oh
sister,
yeah, that bullshit.
Whatever.
Right, yeah.
Blah blah blah. Then then they all split up after the governor kills Herschel, and there's a big
the
war.
Fucking governor.
And then they're all wandering around, and then they all kind of are heading towards Terminus by the end.
Yeah, so that they were dealing with that. I almost forgot all that shit.
Abraham and everybody too.
Yeah, because of the split season, I was so confused that I forgot where the governor got killed. Did he got killed after the second season, right? The split.
He got
half
killed
of the season,
in the. No, he got killed.
In the return,
finale
right?
of the first half, I believe.
Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah, so he gets killed there, and that scattered the group because their sanctuary got exploded or whatever reason, and. Yeah, so Rick and family were by themselves. Everybody makes it to Terminus at the end of the season finale of season 4. So it was, I think, Rick,
Michonne, and
who's the guy with the hat? The Asian fellow.
Glenn.
Oh, Glenn. Yeah, Glenn Rhee. What kind of name is that? Rhee. So Glenn, Maggie as well, I believe, and Daryl.
Yeah, and, Abraham, and what the fuck is the guy that's going to save them all by going to
the big cans, the
burrito,
the mullet,
whatever.
Frito-Lay. So yeah, they're all that. Beth is missing. She got taken off in a car, whisked away, which I thought was going to be her being eaten at Terminus, but I was wrong.
Yeah, I wonder what that car was. They haven't gotten
that was called the fuck truck. They were just fucking. They're still filming
they had
Bang
a cross
Bros
on it, so I assumed it must have been.
They're still filming Bang Bros in the apocalypse. They just hand the tapes to people, like where they're promising to hand her money, but then they drive off. She's like, oh no, and she just starts singing one of her acoustic songs. Mm-hmm. So much to my chagrin of what they did in the ending of the finale of the 4th season, when they're they're getting ready to kick some ass, and Rick is like, they don't know who they're screwing with. And I was like, screwing, because it reminded me of the comic. In the comic, it says they don't know who they're fucking with, and then on the DVD, Breaking Vlad, the vampire show. No, Breaking Bad, they said "fuck you." Like Walt would say "fuck you," and they just blanked it out, which is fine because he says "fuck you."
Right.
Don't say screwing. It's the end of the world. That pissed me off. And then they released in the DVD extra him saying they're fucking with us. And I was like, is that hard? Can you just blank that out? I mean, we've seen people on fire.
Show.
Oh, that's right. He didn't want to curse. Isn't that what I said about the last season? I say he didn't want to curse in front of Carl because that's the one thing he didn't want Carl to do.
Right.
So yeah, he was ready to kick ass. So they're like, we see at the beginning of the episode, they're taking their belts off, they're taking their zippers, they're trying to make handmade weapons to kick the shit out of everybody when the Terminus crowd comes back to get them.
They're taking their belts off though. I mean, their pants are gonna fall down.
Funny, and then they would expose like Glenn's tiny genitals.
Oh god!
And then Maggie would have been like ashamed, so then she would have had to blown Abraham. Anyway, so I don't know where I just went with that, but anyway, they're waiting to kick some ass. But then the Terminus people have the upper hand. They throw a gas canister, which knocks everybody out, and then we see these people. Somebody's getting sawed in half on a table. I didn't listen. Yeah. I haven't seen you saw the recap, I guess. I didn't. But
I didn't see a recap, but I did read a review because I was a little confused about one point, and it clarified it for me.
I was very confused about something that I think was an important character who I had no idea who the fuck he was. Because anyway, there's that.
I know what you're talking about, and we'll get to it. I know the.
Yeah, they're cutting some guy in a slab, which I thought was Glenn for a second. I was like, and then it wasn't Glenn because then I realized the trailer had him almost getting hit in the head with a bat, and that is very reminiscent of something that happens in the comic books that I can't get into. But they're about to hit him, and like always, everybody's safe. They always have to pick 4 people. It couldn't be the main 4 characters that are the first in line to get their throat slit. And of course, people
come on, it's TV.
But this is like really because they were saying, everybody's gonna die this season. They were just saying people are gonna die like you.
If you want to see everyone die, you watch Game of Thrones. You want to see people win, then you watch this.
They don't fuck with that. That show you can't fuck with. Like seriously, they'll kill everybody. They'll even kill cameramen on that show. But with oh no, wait, that's Cops. You heard that story? Anyway, that's fucked up. So with this, they're lining up. We find out that Terminus is full of people eaters, purple people eaters. Danny, so what do you feel about that? Having read the comic,
it's I'm very very rusty on the comic actually, so can't say. But I thought they were going for a character called, and spoiler alerts, but what's the hell is his name? Like Negan? Nagel or something?
No, Negan.
Negan? Okay.
Although I do believe Negan was at the end of the episode. I believe
no, I know, I'm pretty sure that that's not supposed to be him if it's the guy with the long hair that was crazy.
He had the haircut. No, the guy at the end who's like picking the women out to rape them and
that is the same guy that was locked in the dumpster that was saying we're the same, that like was crazy and had long hair.
You sure? Oh, okay.
I'm pretty positive, because that scene, this is what I had to clarify in the review, and it made perfect sense. I'm gonna have to watch again, but that guy that whole scene at the end and the very beginning was a flashback when Gareth, or whatever the fuck his name was when this was a peaceful place, when Terminus was a peaceful place, and then that guy with the long hair that was locked in the thing came, raped all the women with his group, whatever, and then Gareth eventually took it back and locked him in. I would have figured
he would have been the first guy they chopped in half, but I guess not. They'll just kill new people.
No, they kept him as a prisoner and tortured him.
Oh, okay. Oh, because that's probably why he's so crazy. No, the person that I was confused, I think you thought I was confused about that. No, I was confused about that corpse that they kept showing his face on the slab. Like, I don't know who the hell that guy was. Who was he? Do you know? Because he was a very prominent, like, the camera lingered on him, so I guess he must have been an important character. He must have been the other guy that was helping him. I have no idea who he was. Maybe because I didn't...
Wait, are you talking about the first guy to get his throat slit?
No. Well, I guess no because
the
there was a body.
The blonde guy to get his throat slit.
No, not that guy. Not that guy. No, there was a body on a slab, like just on the slab. You know, the body
like
that
at the very beginning when they're cutting his leg off and shit.
Yeah. Who the hell was that guy? Because the camera lingered on his face for a reason. Like, it's obvious they showed his face for a reason, and I don't know why. But
he could have
kept
been
going back.
I don't know. There's so many characters.
He must have been in the last season then, because I really did not pay attention to who he was, and I was like, "Who the hell is this guy?" Because they're showing him for a reason.
It's possible he could have been some minor character,
unless he was in the flashback with the 3 of them, and I didn't notice it with the woman. But anyway, so yeah, they're led to this room, and it's pretty brutal because they're like, people were saying, "Oh, how come when they slit the guys' throats, those guys didn't turn because they got hit?" But my friend pointed out, maybe because the crack of the head with the bat might have severed the spine or something like that, destroyed the brain enough to do it.
Right, bashed their brain, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. So I guess that's why those guys. It was a pretty brutal sequence. I mean, it really is disgusting. Like these guys are leaned over a trough and they
kind of reminded me of Hostel a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was actually more brutal than Hostel, that sequence alone, because it was incredibly graphic for what it was.
Yeah.
But we're on the flip side. There's now Tyrese and Carol run into another person who works for Terminus, who I think was setting off firecrackers or fireworks to let them know that the all clear sign. It was this guy some douchebag who later ends up threatening the life of the baby. Which is a pretty tense scene. And Tyrese, for some reason, I don't know why. I guess it's because
I felt so bad for that baby actor. That baby's gonna grow up to be so fucked up because of this.
It reminded me of the baby
trauma.
It reminded me of the baby from the Toxic Avenger film, the first one, with the baby who was inside the restaurant when the guy holds a shotgun to its face and it's crying.
Right.
And the actor had to quit because he felt so bad about doing the scene. Holding a shotgun to a baby's face. I would feel bad about doing that too, actually. Even as much as unfeeling
I would feel bad because I felt
am.
so good about it, you know? Like, it'd be like my guilty conscience, like, you know this is wrong. And, like, in my mind, the forefront would be like, do it, kill it, kill it, kill it.
You'll hear Ozzy Osbourne, like, do it, shoot in your head. But yeah, so they're getting their throat slit. Of course, the first four guys get their throat slits, and then they hear a huge explosion, and which is Carol saving the day. Which is funny. A friend pointed out, like, how did Carol know her expert, like, pointing fireworks skill would hit the open gas canister of that giant, tanker that's next to the complex? But let me tell you guys something. You see how awesome Carol is? That's what Andrea was supposed to be. That's who Andrea was supposed to be in the comic book. They switched her. They changed Carol from a meek housewife who got her ass kicked, which I noticed online. Somebody wrote that into a ass kicking.
She's like a badass
female Daryl. I think
she's like the coolest character in the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, and you know what that means? She's gonna be dead by the end of the season. I know that for sure.
Yeah, right.
Anytime a character is awesome that turns awesome, she's gonna die.
When they finally gave T-Dog like more than one line to kill him.
Yeah, he said, instead of saying "Hey there," he goes, "Hey there, everybody," and then he just gets killed in the episode. So she's an awesome fucking character, and that makes me feel like they're just gonna kill her off because she's having a character arc, and that means that something wrong's gonna happen to her. Because Tyrese has outlived his character in the comic book by a mile, and I didn't remember what he did last season where he was like, I can't kill anybody. I guess he said that.
Yeah, I don't remember that part either. What made him think that? But I do remember. Oh, because of killing the crazy girl.
Okay, all right.
I'm assuming that's what it is. That little girl that killed her sister, which actually that is based on the comic.
Yeah, because in this one he beats a guy to death. He's like, I can't. It would have been funny if he says, I can't, and he just beats the guy and punches a actual vagina into his face.
His face turns into a vagina.
And then he fucks it with his big 20-inch schlongo. But,
and then he has his hammer, but it's like instead of a handle, it's got a dildo.
No, he puts his dick in the vagina face of the guy, and he hammers his balls in like a nail. And he's like, "Oh damn, baby!" Oh, that's my white guy voice. Excuse me, I wasn't being racist there. Anyway, so hey, do you think Daryl's gay?
Why? Because he's not attracted to
anybody?
No, I don't think so. I think he's just.
I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong. I'd be awesome.
No, I've read the theories that because him and Carol haven't had sex, that's
like the biggest thing for the people in the Tumblr and stuff like that. They love Daryl and Carol, so they call them Daryl.
Oh yeah, I never realized their names rhyme actually.
So yes, you have. There's no way you have, but they're like crazy about it. They're like, oh, we want these two to hook up, but Daryl does nothing with her. Like he's just not interested. You know what I mean?
First of all, she's like definitely older than him, but
I think I think they're actually the same.
Well,
age
I guess that doesn't matter in the post-apocalyptic world, but no, I don't think.
You think he wants
that?
You think he wants some of that? You know that loose meat vagina with the gray hairs on it.
They're just platonic.
Like it hangs over his face like a piece of cheese from the deli. What happened?
Like a shroud.
Like a roast beef. Yeah, like right over his nose.
No, I think that they're just having a nice platonic post-apocalyptic relationship.
Maybe she has a giant, she has a giant clitoris that looks like a tiny penis. You never seen those ones where they lift the hoods back and it looks like a penis? It's very disturbing. If anybody has that in real life, good for you. Be proud of your body. Yes. But I think Because there's a character named
You're being a lot grosser than me in this episode. That's funny.
I'm trying. But there's a character in the comic book of The Walking Dead called Jesus, because he looks like Jesus Christ. He has long hair, and he's like a badass. He's basically the Daryl counterpart in the comic book. And have you been up to that in the comic books at all?
I
guess
like
maybe you haven't seen
issues.
He had to come around
last I saw
because
was the big Glenn thing that happened.
he's certainly around there because he shows up when a character that's currently on the series dies.
Is he like a runner? Like he's the runner?
Yeah, he's a runner. He looks like Jesus Christ. And his character is gay in the comic, and then it's so funny.
Oh, he's with the founder of the community.
Right, and he's gay. Like, that comes out of nowhere in the comic book, which is fine because, it's not a big deal that he's a gay character. And then people on YouTube, like, because there's a guy on YouTube that scans all the issues of The Walking Dead, and he kind of puts it up almost like film-wise, so you're like watching an episode of The Walking Dead.
How does he not get fucking banned? Like,
he does. They keep shutting his channel. There's a bunch of channels that do it actually, and they keep shutting them down. But there's always
probably
like
all
new
that
ones.
one guy.
Yeah. So when then you see like the comments of like assholes on YouTube saying he's gay. Why are they gonna make him? They call him the F word and all that stuff. They just like really they could all of a sudden
like in the post-apocalyptic world, people are still gonna give a shit.
Yeah, no, everybody's straight in the post-apocalyptic. The zombies have turned everyone straight and only ate all the gay people. Like, what kind of stupid fucking assholes like saying shit like this? So that's why I think that Daryl might be gay because how they're putting him with Beth and she's like supposed to be like 14
it's possible,
or something.
Especially with like a crazy brother like Merle, you would never admit it.
Yeah. Think about it, because I bet you there's a bunch of women listen to this episode and like they're biting their teeth, like they're just like he's not gay, he loves pussy.
Is he really that good looking? I think that Rick.
I think he's getting fatter and out of shape. It makes me very sad that he's getting overweight. He's actually getting fatter on the show, which is very strange for me because they should be starving. He must be saving extra rabbits or something. But anyway, yeah, it'd be funny if like you just see him rubbing Rick's butt. Rick's like, "What's going on here?"
I think of the show, I would say Rick is definitely the best looking guy on the show.
The most handsome guy? Yeah, I guess so. Wait till what's his name grows up a little bit. Carl Grimes. He'll be like,
Carl's going to be a good looking guy? I don't think so.
He already
Carl,
looks like
really rubs me the wrong way. I don't like whatever.
Yeah, because he's a bad actor. Carl looks like Carol as a young man, though. He looks just like Carol. He has like the same face. I think Rick fucked Carol or something. Anyway, so yeah, they ended up obviously Carol saves the day, explodes everything. Rick has a piece of wood. Was it up his ass or his boot or something or his jacket?
Yeah, I don't know. He hit it somehow.
It's horse shit. They cut themselves out and they kick the shit out of everybody they shoot. It's pretty badass because Rick's like, we got to kill everybody. He doesn't give a shit. You know that part where he was feeling so bad about killing that guy who was trying to rape Carl?
Right.
He's like, I'm a monster. And now this episode,
he bit his neck out.
In this episode, he wants to kill everybody. He wants to kill everybody, which is fine by me. I was like, yeah, do it, dude. Because then...
Yeah. Well, I love it. They're all like that. I mean, Carol leaves that girl to get eaten by zombies, and
I love that part where
Tyrese is beating someone to death.
I love that part where the Terminus people are shooting at the zombies, and then Rick goes behind them and takes a gun from one of the other guys and just shoots the Terminus people. It's pretty funny. Zombie graphics are pretty good. There's some pretty obvious dummy parts where it's, not dummy, but like a zombie on a pole. It's really bad because it's like the zombie that just like
the one that Tyrese impaled.
No. There's a zombie that it's literally a puppet zombie, and they just kind of turn the puppet in a way because when the head
I didn't even catch that.
It's very funny because the head moves with the shoulders as opposed to your head moving first and then your shoulders.
Right.
I was like, what the hell is this crap? I was like, wait, this show's supposed to have a lot of money in it. And
they spent all the money on the fucking explosion. Jesus Christ.
That's true. Yeah, it looked so realistic. But yeah, that was a pretty cool scene where the zombies all exploded and they're like flying in the air and fire.
Yeah, this was awesome. Like a action-packed episode.
Yeah, they did a good opener. So just like the season previous, very strong opening, and then it just kind of gets mundane. But if every episode kind of keeps this up, because I remember the first half of the first season, of the last season, like every episode starting out was like crazy awesome, and then it just started dealing with Andrea's bullshit, and then the governor, who I could give a shit less about. I didn't care about him at all. But this is a very good, promising, and it's It was fun to watch. I mean, it was good to see it again. And, you know, I mean, the show is what it is. It's repetitive. It's always repeating. Although supposedly it's supposed to stick closer to the storyline of the comic. I don't know why they would make that decision this time around as opposed to all the crazy shit they did before.
Well, I mean, as far as I know, I could be wrong completely because I'm very rusty on the comic, but I don't even think Terminus exists in the comic.
No, Terminus isn't in the comic at all. And
Yeah,
the comic book,
okay.
by the time they're with certain characters that they're with, there's two areas that exist, and they have to pay homage or they have to pay
That's
protection
that's
fee to somebody who hasn't been on the show yet. But they keep talking about him, like the writer. I mean, the writer of the comic book. What the fuck is his name? He's writing the next episode. The guy who created the comic, Robert Kirkman.
Yeah, Robert Kirkman.
He does mention Negan, who is like this guy who walks around with a baseball bat. I think it's called Lucille or something like that. That has barbed wire on it. And he looks like a '50s greaser, and he like curses every 3 seconds. He really is like a huge piece of shit. He's worse than the governor character is. But it's always like, you know, the one character's. They're always fighting one bad guy over and over, same shit all the time. But he's actually pretty interesting as a villain in the comic book, and they actually in the comic book itself. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but they had a huge, giant, like all-out war where Rick and his crew gets like a whole bunch of people to fight them, and it's pretty interesting. But it's repetitive. It's always the same shit over and over. And we see Michonne.
Yep.
Michonne really didn't do much this episode. She did
make a cool little Darth Maul fucking wood stick.
Yeah, and then you can totally see that the blades were CGI and they weren't even there. It was pretty funny. But it's good. I mean, I like the show. I mean, for this show to have that bigger ratings, it should be making a lot more money to fix up some of the weirdo graphics that are in the show. Because there are some like graphics that are like, what the hell kind of graphic is that? But you know what? Whatever. I guess that's why they have a lot of money. I hope it's going into somebody's budget or somebody's wallet. But I think it's a strong episode. I liked. What are things that you liked about the episode?
It just like I loved seeing them all so like brutal. It was great.
I would I think
Rick's like a badass. They're all badass.
This series is like dating a boring person that gives you a really good hand job or like rubs your clitoris the right way sometimes.
Right.
Is that right?
Well, this season, hopefully, they'll have finally learned all their sexy moves. Oh, and I have to admit, I really liked the touching reunion scenes at the end.
I did. I almost choked up a little bit when Daryl.
I did choke up with Carol, and more so than with Judith, actually.
With Judith, yeah, I didn't give a shit about Judith, but like when then Rick sees, sees his daughter, and he gets back, or he sees what's his name's daughter, the one that he fucked his wife. That was nice to see him, give thanks to Carol and stuff like that. It was cool to see them back together, and there's like a good troop of them. Like, it looked like 15 of them, and they're still trying to get that shithead Eugene to I guess the
Washington,
CDC or something. Washington, right? And Abraham. I'm still bothered by Abraham because he looks nothing. He looks sort of like the head of the character in the comic book, but his body doesn't look the same. It's very disturbing.
Well, I mean, the body in the fucking comic is not really possible too much.
Yeah, he was a muscular guy. Well, Abraham in the comic looks like Hulk Hogan. That's who he looks like in the comic book. Like, he's based on a real life body. But anyway, whatever.
I think that Abraham's just fine.
I still like Bob Stuckey just for his name. Bob Stuckey is like the best name in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's the one that's boning Sasha.
That's the alcohol guy, right?
Yeah. He had to drink so much. A racist white show about a black man drinking. Why didn't you just make him a fucking Native American, huh? Racist.
And then they had, Morgan.
I didn't see that. People were talking about it. It wasn't after the episode, but I did not notice that at all. I did like what Carol fucked everybody up, man. She fucked them good. Like, she took
there was a really cool, okay, wait, what's your favorite scene of the episode?
I like when she fucked that lady from Terminus and opened up that door and let those zombies eat her ass. I love that part. That was the best.
My favorite scene was when she initially shoots the thing, like the whatever, the container, and then you see the jet stream coming out of it, and one of the zombies walks into the jet stream, and it looked like so cool looking.
Oh yeah, no, that whole explosion shit was great. Like,
but even before it exploded, just this jet stream, and you like.
Oh yeah.
Explode.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. In the white smoke, right? And they're just walking into it. I thought they were like freezing. And then the cool effect of the burnt zombie. There's like this black zombie. They have that effect of the skin burnt off, just walking off after that happened. It was pretty sick. Carol was the best. So
this has to be a very large budget episode. I mean, for that explosion alone, I'm sure they spent like $1 million on this episode.
And they must have spent like $1 on that zombie on a puppet stick. Cause that shit was horrible. But anyway,
I guess they ran out of money.
That was the last budget. Like, we just spent money on that exploding scene. Oh shit. There's also like you can see digital flames, like really obvious digital flames. Is pretty funny, but who fuck am I good? I can't even do any of these special effects, so fuck it. It was a really good. I like the episode a lot. Like I said, it's the Walking Dead is very high or low expectations for the series. If they stick closer to the comic book, I don't know, because I think they've pretty much exhausted everything they've done with the comic already. It's the same shit over and over. There's nothing new really you can do besides screwing around. I don't
like the idea of a spin-off.
I did like they got rid of the Terminus people pretty quick, because you'd figure, they would be having to take care of the Terminus shit for a whole season. I thought they were going to do a whole prison camp. Yeah. Not prison, but they're going to keep them captive for a long time.
I'm pretty positive that first and last scene, that guy that's like torturing Gareth and all his people, like Mary and stuff,
you think it was that guy? I think
he
it was
is the
Negan,
same guy. I think he's the same guy that had the long hair that was like, we're the same.
We got to look at it again, because I think I think that was Negan. He had a slick back haircut, but I could be wrong. And then obviously Rick shoots that one guy.
No, because Gareth overtakes those people and becomes those people eventually. Negan
Fair enough. I don't think he meant that they stayed there. I think they just left. But from what I know, I don't think Negan really raped anybody in the comic. He wasn't that kind of guy.
I don't think it was supposed to be Negan.
Okay. But then Rick also shoots that other guy who was second in command in Terminus, and he falls over. So he's still alive. Because they were interviewing, I think, Robert Kirkman about it, because and he was like, oh yeah, he's dead. But then they were like, no, in the previews he's still alive. And then Robert Kirkman was like, shut the fuck up. So that guy's still alive, because he just like fell over on his side. If you don't see the guy's head explode, then he's still alive. But I didn't see the Morgan thing. What did the Morgan scene happen? What happened in that scene?
Well, I actually didn't see it either. I just read about it. I was hoping you had seen it.
No, I guess I'll look it up online, because I had no idea until somebody said something after. I DVR'd it.
According to this, Morgan just sees the sign that says no sanctuary that Rick wrote at the end.
Okay, good. I like Morgan's character. He was like the best actor. I remember specifically they had him in, I think, some of the seasons, and he was like really good, and I was like,
he was like a crazy person. I think that was actually last season, like the earlier part of the season.
Yeah, but I think when they went back to that's when they first went back to his house, right? And his son was still alive, and he was like doing some of the best acting on the show. Like, I was like, holy shit! And then after that is when he went crazy, and I was like, oh, like, even now he's a crazy person, even though he's like really because I remember when they brought him back, I was like, wow, this guy's better. He's more interesting than Tyrese, because Tyrese is just kind of like, oh man, my girlfriend's dead. He's just like that.
Yeah.
It was that racist white guy voice I did again. But Morgan's a good actor, and I always wish that they had him instead of Tyrese. But whatever, maybe Tyrese will show me wrong. Tyrese did well by killing that guy, so
why not have them both?
That guy's face annoyed me. The one that was going to kill the baby. Oh, his face annoyed the shit out of me.
Yo, I was happy. I was happy when he.
He reminds me of that. There's this actor that he looks like, but I can't think of the fucking guy. He's just in all these shitty like.
And he kept chewing gum and like, oh god. Yeah, if I was Tyrese, I would have killed him way earlier.
Yeah, so I mean that was 10 points to that guy for playing a complete fucking douche. That guy was a douche in that episode. Holy shit, did he piss me off in that episode? Anyway, with that, I would say it's a really excellent episode. I liked it a lot. And
what's your rating?
I would give this episode let me see. Is that Tate Ellington, the actor? That piece of shit. He's a good actor, but he played a fucking douche. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. No, it wasn't Tate Ellington. 9 out of 10. Wearing a pretty badass parka filled with gore and putting mud on your face and giving the shit to zombies.
Okay. I'm gonna give this it a 10 out of 10. Whoa. I actually really liked it. I'm gonna give it 10 out of 10. Shooting some lady in the knee and then letting zombies eat her.
Yeah, I thought she was going to let her live. And then when she did that, I was like, yes, good for you, Carol. So watch out, guys. Carol, I don't see anything good happening to her after this season, even though she's obviously the best badass character in the show right now. But other than that, everything else looks great. I think it's Negan. You don't think it's Negan? I'm glad they got rid of the Terminus people.
Definitely put some spoiler alerts.
They definitely know when they're doing action in the show. the right way. The zombie fight was awesome. It wasn't. It didn't feel boring. Maybe I think what it is when you take time apart from the show, then you can kind of watch it again and be like, okay, good, I'm back in. You know?
Yeah.
So with that, Danny, what's the final word?
Flathead screwdriver.
The horror deconstruction.